There's a name in the Bible that most people read once and forget, Amalek, but heaven didn't forget. The story begins in the desert, just after Israel escaped slavery in Egypt. They weren't an army, they were former slaves, tired, confused, carrying children, leading livestock, trying to survive. And that's when Amalek attacked, not from the front, they came from behind. They targeted the weak, the elderly, who couldn't walk fast, the sick who lagged behind, the mothers holding crying babies. Deuteronomy records it clearly. They struck the rear, where the weary fell back. This wasn't a fair battle. It was calculated cruelty. And the Bible adds a haunting detail. They did not fear God. That phrase explains everything. Because when people lose the fear of God, they lose the boundaries that protect their humanity. God declared that Amalek's violence would not be erased from history. But judgment didn't come immediately. Years passed, then decades, then centuries. And generation after generation, Amalek continued choosing violence, raids, ambushes, alliances with Israel's enemies. 400 years later, God gave Israel's first king, Saul, a command: end it completely. No compromise. Saul defeated Amalek. The battle was won, but he spared their king, Agag. Maybe he thought it was strategic, maybe merciful, maybe politically smart, but partial obedience is still disobedience. The prophet Samuel confronted him with words that still echo today. To obey is better than sacrifice. Saul lost his kingdom that day, but the deeper consequence wouldn't appear for another 500 years. In the Persian Empire, a powerful official rises, Haman. The Bible calls him an Agagite, a descendant of Agag, the very king Saul spared. Haman convinces the Persian ruler to sign a decree. On a single day, every Jew in the empire would be killed, men, women, and children. A genocide planned in ink, and suddenly, the survival of God's covenant people hangs by a thread. If that decree had succeeded, history would have changed forever. But through Queen Esther's courage, the plot was exposed. The reversal was dramatic, and the threat was stopped. What Saul failed to finish, God brought to completion generations later. The story of Amalek isn't just about ancient warfare. It's about how hatred, if left alive, grows, how compromise, if left unchecked, returns, how small decisions echo across centuries. And maybe that's why this story was preserved, not just to tell us what happened, but to remind us that obedience matters, integrity matters, and what we allow to survive today may shape the world tomorrow.